Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. The following content may involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised. All right, welcome back. And again, with me is the marvelous Frankie from the Haunted and the Strange. This week, we're going to get back into some spookiness. I know we've kind of been away from that for a little bit, and we are going to talk about the Haunted Dock Street Theater, which I kept trying to type theater, but it's like theatre. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna do some background first, just to kind of go. And interestingly enough, the theater isn't even on Dock Street, but it's actually at 135 Church Street. Thought that was kind of funny. I was like, wow.
That is kind of funny.
They missed the mark on that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
And on top of that, the theater actually used to be a hotel, but not just any hotel. It was actually the last surviving antebellum hotel, also known as, quote unquote, Old South Plantations.
Mm-hmm.
But the word antebellum literally just means before the war. So this goes to a lot of buildings, especially in the South prior to the Civil War, and that's where the names come from. And when you think of plantation houses, you always think of the wealthy people, and they got those big puffy dresses where they can't breathe and all that bullshit. That's the houses, the big columns. We'll get into that. But they're traditional style homes that, again, were built primarily in the southern United States. They began being constructed about 30 years specifically before the Civil War, which was in 1861, because I never know anything. I had to look it up. The homes have been described as neoclassical style, which is kind of the same thing as a Greek revival or a Gothic revival, which gained a lot of popularity in America in the 1820s. And it all came from Europe as far as, the appearance and all of that, all those building terms that I don't know because I'm not an architect. Sorry, not sorry. But these houses all have these things in common. Again, very large pillars, like several large pillars. So I'm thinking like the White House, right? They have the big, or the building in Law and Order where they always do the court stuff. I cannot remember what that building's called, but y'all probably know what it is.
Courthouse?
Well, I thought there was another word for it.
Oh, I don't know.
That particular one, but maybe it's courthouse. My courthouse doesn't have any pillars. It's got a big giant clock on the top. It's something, gosh dang it. Maybe it is just courthouse, but I think there's another name. It's like a specific one. It's like in New York.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, I know even like some like government buildings in
and they have huge
Canada
pillars
and stuff are huge. Yeah. And those dome roofs.
Yep. And in these places, they have a balcony that runs across the outside edge. Of course, they have like that second deck porch, basically. Very, very large windows and excessive grand entrances in both the front and the back of the building, which sounds absolutely fantastic.
It does sound fantastic.
These
and
houses,
they're beautiful.
They are beautiful. They a lot of people don't like to consider them old. They like to put them as Old South because, well, if you could afford these nice, beautiful houses and all these nice, beautiful things, what else did you have in the South?
Yeah.
But to me, it's a house. So it's a plantation house. That's what it is. If it bothers you, I'm sorry. The building in question was actually built as the Planters Hotel in 1809. And the plans were funded by a Mr. and Mrs. Alexander Calder, because heaven forbid we ever fucking remember the wife's name. I hate that. That I'll get upset about. Now, granted, it was more of a renovation of a cluster of buildings that had already been in existence. And horse racing was huge. I mean, huge. And when it was in season, so here's basically where the whole name comes in. So when the horse races were in season, a lot of the planners from Middle South Carolina would come into the city to bet on the ponies. And after the races, the planners were, either too tired or otherwise predisposed, possibly drunk on a skunk, and they were not able to make it safely, so they would crash at the hotel. And that's where they got Planters Hotel, just because all the planters would come up. Now, the hotel was gone by the 1930s and was in pretty bad shape. I needed a lot of repairs, and it was then that the city got involved and they actually restored the building with the WPA, which is the Works Progress Administration.
Okay.
This is when they actually added the stage in the auditorium and changed the name to the Dock Street Theater that operated. And I don't know what, I think I typoed somewhere because I wrote 1730s. And I think something happened here because I'm like 200 years between. A fire broke out.
Let me just look it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
say a fire broke out there, so that should help you narrow down.
So I found this thing on, it's called ghostcitytours.com. Oh, there is 1700s.
That's where I was.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so it says, as for the theater's name, it was taken from a theater from the 1730s that once stood on Dock Street, which is now Queen Street. The original Dock Street Theater was the city's first ever theater. Okay, so
that's why I was confused. All right, so I think I got lines crossed, and I think it's the original where the namesake came from had a fire and it burned down. Okay, because it actually burned it down and a large portion of the French Quarter of Charleston, and just catastrophic damage. During the heyday of the theater, they would allow groups to use the space. So I have a theater here in town. It's actually, it's like a movie theater. It's really old, but they renovated it and now they rent it out. So like the middle school, high school, if they do band, choir, whatever, they'll put on plays and they rent the space out. So it's kind of the same concept here. Now, one of the people that used this area just so happened to be somebody named Junius Brutus Booth. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he later spawned none other than John Wilkes Booth.
Oh.
Yeah. Supposedly, one night after a performance, though, Junius got mad, and I wrote made, because apparently I need not do notes at 2 a.m, and attacked and killed a hotel manager.
At a theater.
At a theater.
I'm going to mess with these guys in theaters.
Now, he didn't shoot him, but I think he beat his ass and killed him. After that, there was a big long string of bad luck. So the Civil War obviously threw a giant monkey dick in the works. And after the war, the hotel suffered at the hands of the then damaged economy as a result of Civil War, and over time fell to ruin and just left to rot. Now, again, we kind of went back a little bit. Now we're going back. WPA joined forces with Calder to restore it. It actually remained open all the way to 2007 for even like it just needed more renovations. Everything's been so the Calders spent $19 million and took 3 years to complete the upgrades.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, and the least you could do is know her damn name, but whatever.
Let's call her Mary.
I bet
it was Mary.
Yeah, I bet with her, without her, he would not have those $19 million to fork over to a theater. So now we're just going to that's kind of basically the history, and then it's kind of been what it is ever since then, and things run. Now there is some odd stuff that's been reported, and they say that some of the city's most prominently known ghosts are frequently seen at the Dock Street Theater. Some of the guests reported seeing spirits roaming around the grounds or even seeing shadow figures in the rafters of the building, which I think is scarier than seeing a shadow person on the ground with you. Like, I mean, if it's something in the air, just no, thank you. Because what if it like pounces?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that just gives me the willies. They also say apparitions actually just walk across the stage. So maybe like after death, these people are like, the show must go on or whatever. I don't know.
Or whatever they say.
Yeah. Isn't that what they say? The show must go on.
A rose by any other name still smells as sweet.
Sure. Like, I don't know.
I think that's how it goes.
I don't know anything.
That's how it goes.
This is what happens when you don't read.
I read, sorry, but also I don't know if that's accurate, but Anyways, okay.
Poems by Frankie. Even though there's all of these sightings, there's two main spirits that seem to get the most attention from anybody visiting. And it's without no surprise that one of those spirits is, in fact, Junius Booth. Now, this is, to me, it's strange because he wasn't even in the state when he died. He was in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah. The only tie that he has to the building is the supposed murder of the hotel manager. So there's really no reason, I think, for him to actually be there. I think people just tag him because he was known to exist there at some point.
Yeah, he was there and he's famous. Yeah, because usually, like, I know spirits. Well, I don't know because it's all
I know a guy.
hypothetical. I know a guy who knows a guy, but I've read that spirits will attach themselves to places that they like really enjoyed in life. So, but I don't think that this would have necessarily been this for him.
Unless, well, sometimes it's not always nice. It could be very bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
but I don't think if he did anything bad, then he'd attach himself to that building. Like if he was murdered there, maybe he'd be attached to it.
Well, my thing is they don't always attach to a building, but they might attach to a thing. And if that thing is kept in the building, maybe whatever that piece is that's in the building is attached to the building. Kind of like, okay, I don't want to use that example. Hold on.
Well, you could attach yourself to a jewelry box.
Yeah, and then the jewelry box, like you die, and then your great granddaughter gets the jewelry box, and then she sells it in a, I don't know, yard sale to Susie down the block, and now Susie's
and then
like,
Susie's haunted.
Who the hell's this bitch?
Who is this lady?
Why is she
Martha here?
Yeah, why is she so mad at me? She acts like she doesn't even know me. But the other one, the other spirit, is a little bit. There's a little more information on her, and I find it a little more interesting. So, they think it is Nettie Dickerson, and this is fucking awesome. I love this bitch. All right, she's something. Now, Nettie was a 25-year-old who moved. Oh, by the way, single lady, moved to the area in the 1840s. And, well, wouldn't you know that 25 is apparently old. So they were like, oh, God, look at this single old bitch. No one wants her, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And she was seen around the Planter Hotel. And at first, she wasn't a member of anything there. She just was kind of around. And she was, well, a popular escort of sorts.
Oh, okay.
She operated out of the hotel.
I see. Yes.
And because of the times, she was well beyond marrying age, and everyone labeled her as a spinster.
So she was just a spinster, lady of the night.
Yes. Spinster by day, lady of the night. Sorry. That'd be me if I was her. That'd be me. I'd be a spinster. Here's where it gets interesting. Over time, she kind of veered off of her normal path and became a clerk at the St. Philip's Episcopal Church. Episcopal Church?
I don't know.
I think that's right. I don't fucking know. Sorry, guys.
Some church.
Now, she got along with everyone, but she just never felt like she belonged, which, again, if you spent how much of your life being a, whatever, I don't know what political correct shit is, sorry. If you were basically a hooker for years, you're already told, at this point, you got two options. You're never going to marry. You're 25. You're old. You're whatever. Your options are none, hooker. I mean, really, if you think about back in the day, what other option do you have? No one will marry you.
You didn't really have any other options.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. She really didn't have a choice. But now eventually she gave trying to make it big in Charleston, left her job. She took her savings. As a hooker. I think she quit both the job. She just quit because she was a clerk at the church.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Now she took her savings and went to the store, like the highest class store. Like she was looking for that fucking Gucci, whatever. I don't know shit about fashion, but she's looking for Gucci. Okay. That's expensive, right?
Yeah.
And she bought the most expensive fucking dress that they had, which just so happened to be a stunning and extremely eye-catching little red dress.
This is giving me like Julia Roberts Pretty Women Pretty Woman vibes right now.
Kind of. It
Love it.
changes a little quick. Now, then Nettie strutted her sexy ass into that fucking hotel.
Mm-hmm.
When other women in the community would shoot her nasty looks, because, I mean, obviously their husbands were looking, she would boldly confront them as well as their fucking husband. She'd be like all up in their shit, like getting at them because they'd be like giving her snooty looks and stuff like that. And she'd just be like, tell them what's up. I love her.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, listen to me, snooty bitch.
Yes. Which back in the day, I mean, that took some guts. I mean, back then, for you to go up and talk to anybody like that, especially, you know, she has no support system, no backup, no nothing, probably not that much money. She spent all her money on that fucking dress. So
right.
Now, this is a little less than low-key approach for her to lose almost all of her clients because she was acting out and she would just confront people and blah, blah, blah. So then nobody wanted to be around her because, you know, then, you know, of course, people are snooping around and she'd, you know, tell you what's up. And she wound up penniless.
Okay.
Now, eventually, she snaps, right? She goes to the second-story balcony of the hotel with total disregard for anything going on. And when I say anything going on, there is a storm a-brewing. And I mean a literal weather storm. Fucking huge, massive storm coming in. And she is out on this balcony regardless.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless. That's probably what she sounded like too, right? Was she from New York or whatever the hell we were? Weather's coming in. People are, you know, kind of like, you know, going around real fast trying to take cover or whatever. She begins screaming at the high society patrons as they walk by. She's berating these people from the fucking second-story balcony, right?
You go, Nettie.
Yeah. The priest from her previous job came to he heard about what was happening. He came to the hotel and tried to talk her down from the ledge of the second-story balcony. So she's probably standing. I'm picturing her barefoot with a sexy ass dress with a big slit up the side. Her hair's probably
she's got a bottle of wine.
The wind's blowing, you know, all the stuff coming in, and she's just like, you son of like up, like
fuck you guys.
Not just standing on the balcony. I am picturing her on this edge of a balcony or like over the edge, hanging on, screaming at people. So
with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, exactly. And so the priest comes by and he's trying to talk her down, and Nettie shouts out, "You can't save me." As soon as she uttered those words, she was struck by lightning and dropped dead.
Why am I laughing? I mean to look, but it's like, I thought she was gonna like jump or something.
Nope. She's just like, blah, blah, blah. And what I think is so interesting is, again, this story, and I, for whatever reason, have like really bad goosebumps all of a sudden. Now, the spirit of Nettie is said to glide around for no apparent reason, wearing that same gorgeous red dress. However, it looks tattered at the bottom.
Well, she got fucking struck by lightning.
Exactly. So it probably, you know, burned the dress or whatever, because that's what happens, right? Electricity travels through and it'll actually burn clothing. Yeah. And I just can't get over this lady's yelling. And as soon as she's like, "You can't save me," boom, lightning strike. Boom.
Wow. Yeah, that's timing. Right?
Yeah. But I'm like, this bitch is like up there. Let these people have, I'm just like, I love her.
Yeah.
She's great.
I could just picture myself being like, "Slady,
get it, Nettie, get it.
What's she doing? See this shit?"
You'd be up there, behave. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Look at her go, girls.
That's crazy. So then she haunts the hotel with her tattered ass dress.
Yep, but she's still probably walking that thing looking sexy as hell.
Oh, probably.
Now, but that's pretty much, I mean, for the most part, it's just a lot of, you know, apparitions, things like that. But those are the only two specific ones. And I personally feel that there would be more ghosts.
Right.
Like more different variations of spirits instead of, you know, maybe it's more action, less variety of spirits, as opposed to a lot of spirits but don't get a lot of activity. I don't know. Because there's really not a lot of death. I mean, aside from Nettie in the
Yeah.
area.
Well, and then there was the guy that was killed, but apparently it's the killer that haunts it. But maybe it's not the killer. Maybe it's the
Maybe,
actual guy that was stabbed.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's not Junius. Maybe it's the actual
Yeah.
hotel manager haunting the place.
Right.
And if they associate Junius with that guy, maybe that's why they get him confused, because they would have
Mhm.
been in the same area, obviously.
Yeah. Or maybe they were like, they heard like a name or something and he said,
Mhm.
or the spirit said Junius and they just assumed. Who
Yeah,
knows,
I'm
right?
Junius, not Junius fucking did this to me.
Yeah, that's like this fucking guy killed me.
Yeah. So would you visit?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Would you
Yeah,
stay
like
the
book
night?
a room.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was trying to figure
Whatever.
out. I wish they would do. I don't know if they do. I haven't looked at what they actually have at the space currently.
Mhm.
I think it'd be really awesome to do like a late, like a midnight matinee of
Ooh,
something. You know what I mean? Like something that to try
something
to.
spooky.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting.
Something old
But
timey, maybe.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe not
That'd be
Gone with the
cool.
Wind style, but so,
Yeah, no.
I want something
Yeah.
cool, like some. I don't know, maybe Moulin Rouge, because that. Oh my gosh, that would be so perfect.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the Moulin Rouge. Oh, or what is it, burlesque or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
You know
unless
what
it's like
else is a
18
good
and
one? What's the one that had Catherine Zeta-Jones and Renee Zellweger?
I don't know
They were in
anybody's
jail.
name.
Okay,
Oh,
hold on, hold on, hold
panic
on.
coming.
Yeah.
Oh, look, somebody's talking. That ball never goes off.
Zeta-Jones.
Chicago.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's such a good movie.
I love that movie.
I haven't
That's
watched it in
interesting. This
forever.
ball never goes off, and it just went off a second ago while you were talking.
Oh, hello.
Apparently it liked Chicago. But
Maybe you should
yeah,
watch it.
I should. I haven't seen it in a while. So I
He
gotta,
had it coming.
yeah. I like when she's like, he ran into my knife. He ran into my knife
He
10
ran into my
times.
knife 10 times or whatever. Yeah.
I'm like, boom. So yeah, I
Yeah.
randomly find myself singing like, yeah, I'm weird. But if you were a ghost, where would you haunt?
Oh, wow. I would probably haunt either. I'm gonna pick two. I would probably either haunt my childhood home because I like go there in my dreams a lot, which is weird. And it's still got its like weird like 1970s shag carpeting, by the way, in my dreams, which is super cool.
That
Or I
is
would
cool.
haunt like a trail because I spend a lot of time hiking. So I'd be like the lady in white at the edge of the cliff, you know?
Yeah, and then you very gracefully
I
like
would just,
swan dive. Yeah.
yes,
I
Wanda.
I'd probably be Nettie like yelling off of some second story building or some shit. Get off my lawn.
You get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. You think I would have thought about this beforehand?
That's a hard one.
I think I would probably if my grandparents were still at their house and we could
Uh-huh.
have a little like poltergeist party, I would go there.
Okay. Good memories then.
Or I would want to be in some sort of item, preferably that's
Mm,
kept inside.
yes. Yes.
So that way I can still kind of travel and I can always meet
Hmm.
new people because there's always going to be other ghosts everywhere you go, right? So you get to like
Maybe
meet
like a
new people.
watch.
Who wears watches anymore?
I don't know.
Maybe, well,
Try
I
to
was gonna say,
try to figure out how you're gonna travel. Like maybe a piece of jewelry.
true, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's got to be, I was thinking something that like, because like, what if it's like a wedding
A
ring?
brooch.
Fuck
Ooh.
worth a brooch besides like the
I
old
don't
ladies at my
know.
mom's church.
Yeah, then
Nice brooch, bitch.
brooches will make a comeback. And you'll be
Yeah.
in one. You'll be like, yes.
Brooches are bomb.
Shit.
I got my Gucci brooch. I don't know, because think about it. If it's say it's like a wedding ring, well, okay, that's kind of
Maybe like
different.
earrings.
Yeah, like well, everybody loses an earring.
Oh my
I'd
gosh.
say
What are you gonna be then?
necklace would be good because people don't lose it
Yeah,
as much, right? Because they wear it all the time.
that's that's true.
But what if you get to a place and you're the necklace? Well, then you kind of like go everywhere. But then like, what if it's like this other person haunts something and say they buy the matching earrings and somebody else haunts the earrings and you fucking hate this dude. You're like, God, this bitch has been following me around for 20 years. Just die already.
Oh
Please don't give us to the same inheritance. Like, send me to somewhere else.
It would be like Nettie and this whoever the other guy is that haunts this place. Like, what if you didn't like him?
What if you haunted a dildo?
Do people get that attached to those? I don't even know what to say right now.
It's laughing at that one, like that one. Yeah, so apparently this is the raunchy ghost that likes the movie Chicago and dildos.
Oh,
that's funny because that one never goes off. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I'd want to haunt one of those.
And I'm trying to think of something that stands the test of time. You know what I mean? Because you can't say like a cell phone because then your cell phone dies, you die, or you die, the cell phone dies. Or
I have well, I said a jewelry box earlier, but it's because I have my grandmother's jewelry box.
I want to haunt a podcast.
Jewelry box would be. What's that?
I want to haunt a podcast. So every time somebody listens, I emerge. And it's got to be somebody who's interested in the same shit I'm interested in, or they wouldn't be listening, right?
That's true.
So maybe we could be friends, and I could listen anywhere. I could go anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could like show up in Australia because somebody turned it on.
I'm down.
There you go. You found the answer.
Found the answer.
Haunt the airwaves.
Haunt the airwaves, everybody. But I think that's really all we had. So I know that was a little bit shorter, but it is what it is. And thank you again so much, Frankie, for being here and gracing us with your presence.
Having me. Thank you.
Everybody, have a good day. And until next time, we'll see you.
Hey.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and rate and review the show wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show by allowing us to be found more easily when other listeners search for us. If you have a chance, head on over to www.patreon.com/cryptids, creeps, and conspiracy and become a patron. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shout-outs, access to the private Discord server, and video versions of episodes, both regular and members only, that are raw and unedited. So they're always a good time. As an added thank you to the Big Show patrons, we also are going to be giving out custom stickers and mini prints after 3 months of membership. I'm currently offering a 7-day free trial, so head on over and see how awesome being a member can be. Before you go, click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some of the self-designed merch, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and magnets can be found on the TeePublic site, and they have sales at least once a month. I believe it is 30 or 35% off. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly how much, but keep checking back and get them when they're discounts. They have $16 tees, and it's great. For handmade crochet items such as Nessie, Mothman, aliens, Fresno nightcrawlers, and the little ghosts, or a big ghost, as well as pants, swimwear, the best tumblers I have found yet as far as merch is concerned, dresses, office supplies, and more, visit the Square merch store. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please don't hesitate to send them in to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experience on a special listener episode. Just make sure to specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show, and let me know whether you would like to have your real name or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you again so much for all your support, and I'll see you next time, my friend.